what kind of opportunities in terms of investing or trading comes to mind when you think about investing in the Japan market?
For instance, people look at, say, iPhones.
Yeah.
iPhones are a very famous example. Some of us know some of the component makers that go into iPhones, Foxconn, things like that. And by extension, anything you look at in terms of tech, those come from chips as well. What I'll add to that is actually a lot of these famous products or even critical products in terms of, say, industrial machinery, chip making equipment, all of them actually come from Japan. There's one company or another that just, they do all these kind of critical components that are needed for larger machines. So to give you some examples, right? You're familiar with Ajinomoto.
Of course, yeah.
Ajinomoto itself is pretty interesting because of their expertise in terms of, I won't even pretend to understand what goes into it, but because of the expertise in terms of, I assume it's to do with chemistry, fabrication of all these things, they're actually pretty good at creating components for, say, semiconductors. So I'm not talking about like really hard stuff, but it's just a small piece that goes into a semiconductor or semiconductor machine, and the revenue from that is actually pretty good because you're talking about profit margins in double digits, mid double digits.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot more than seasoning because for seasoning you're talking about easily, you wouldn't even have to really look into it, single digits.
Yes.
If we were to take a leap and say you're running the company, right? Where would you invest more of your time and money in? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And let's say you look at the outlook for trade policy now. If someone wants to put tariffs on you, for instance, let's say someone wants to put some sort of trade policy, trade action against Japan, right? It's much easier to target something like the end product, like seasoning from this company, this brand, this class of thing.
Interesting.
Rather than a small component in that sense. So I think a lot of these Japanese companies, they do know that. They've been branching into these things for decades, at least past 2 decades, a lot of heavy investment in it. They've cemented themselves in these supply chains, and there's a lot of these value stories, if I were to use that term, within Japanese stocks. And I think, somebody who's out there looking for these kinds of stories could probably find themselves a bargain or two.